It's the Strawberry and Lizette Mexican Ginger Podcast, not suitable for a younger audience.
Lizette's starting the podcast with some ASMR hand lotion. Okay, that's enough. That's enough for that. Some. Give me that. Now my hands smell like onions and hand lotion. You didn't even
take enough.
I did. High five. Okay. All right, the Mexican Ginger Podcast.
It's not onions, it's coconut.
No, I had onions in my sandwich.
Ew, then why did you touch me?
You told me to. It's on camera. You told me to do it twice. Anyway, it's the Mexican Ginger Podcast, not intended for younger audiences. Tiger Woods and Vanessa Trump. Mm-hmm. I didn't know who Vanessa Trump was until Tiger Woods announced that he's dating her. She is the ex-wife of Donald Trump Jr., who now Donald Trump Jr. is with the ex of Gavin Newsom. Did I tell you that, or did you know that?
Politicians get around as much as the people in Hollywood.
I'm saying
it's like they all just date each other.
Yeah, I think I got that right. So anyway, I need to say that this is alleged. Like, we didn't look into the facts on this one, but I pulled this guy's TikTok because he came up on my algorithm and he kind of broke down Vanessa Trump's like dating history.
Uh-huh. So Gavin Newsom is single?
Is he single now? I don't know. But he was dating.
I was going to say, he looks like the type.
Do you think? Well, he was also dating some, a girl who was starring in like CSI or Law and Order or something. Like when he was in San Francisco, he was like the player. Like he had crazy.
He looks like the type.
Good resume. He had a good resume.
Yeah. It's weird because I feel like as a politician and someone who has eyes on them, like you have to have a wife and kids, and you have to have been married for like 20 years.
I don't know if he's single now. You may have a point. Kimberly. Who's Kimberly? This says, of the women Gavin Newsom dated before and after Kimberly Guilfoyle? That can't be her name. Can you see I don't pay attention to politics at all?
Kimberly Guilfoyle? That doesn't sound right.
He had an affair with, I don't even know any of these people. Ruby Rippery Gibbony. Again, I probably didn't pronounce that right.
The furniture's floating.
Sophia Milos, that's who it was. He rebounded from his marriage with actress Sophia Milos. She was in,
I don't know who that is.
CSI Miami.
Didn't watch that.
Okay,
anyways.
Huge crush on her. Holy cow.
Whoa, relax.
And Jennifer Siebel. There you go, Newsom. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so this guy's TikTok about who Vanessa Trump dated. Mm-hmm. Again, this is from him. I haven't researched, but here he goes.
Tiger Woods announced today that he is dating Donald Trump Jr.'s ex-wife, and the craziest part of this entire story is finding out that Vanessa Trump's dating history is absolutely insane. Like, being married to Donald Trump Jr. is like the most normal part of her dating history.
Imagine that. Being a former, that's the most normal part about her whole history.
We'll be the judge of that.
Okay, good. Let's start when she was in high school.
For starters, when she was in high school, she dated a gang member of the Latin Kings, and when he went to jail...
Bitch, who hasn't?
But when this guy went to jail, what did she do?
She kept dating him and wrote him this love letter.
And then on the TikTok, he showed a screenshot of
Only
the love
white
letter.
people will hear that and be like, oh my gosh.
Well, not just a... Did he say gang leader or just a gang member?
He said gang member, I think.
All right.
My 18...
Still, like, who hasn't dated someone in jail?
Me?
It's very normal where I'm from.
That's Salinas is showing right now. Here we go. Here's her letter to him behind bars.
My 18th birthday, you'll be back in my arms, my prom, and I want to get pregnant and have a baby with you after January. I want to get pregnant so the baby is born after I graduate, since it takes 9 months.
So she's a high school student planning her.
That's just that puppy love. Like,
yeah, I get that.
That's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing to have that be read when after you've already grown up, you're in your 30s and 40s, and like, who wants someone to go down a list of their exes, especially the ones from high school?
Yeah, for sure.
Nobody wants to talk about that.
Love letters you wrote or passed in class, like you don't want those being read.
If the letters that I wrote to my boyfriend at the time when he was in jail, like got read aloud, I don't remember what they said. I'm sure I'd be mortified. I'm sure it'd be like, ew, that's so disgusting. Like, oh God, I'm cringing right now. Like,
I would love for him to send those to us so we can read them on the podcast.
They probably got confiscated.
Oh, they were naughty letters.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. Why would he have them?
I don't know. I would just love to hear.
I know why he doesn't have them.
I'd love to hear your jail letters. Why? Why would he have them? Because he can't let go, eh?
No. First of all, he's not Mexican. Second of all, he's kind of like on the streets now. So pretty sure he doesn't have them anymore.
Gotcha. All right. So after she dated the Latin king, rumored, what else was her dating history?
After that, she allegedly dated Leonardo DiCaprio and infamously said that she would be the woman to make him monogamous.
I didn't know that she dated Leonardo DiCaprio.
I don't know either. She must have got too old for him.
And then she turned 25.
Yep. That's exactly what he said.
How did I know?
How'd you know? All right, keep going.
That was followed up by dating Saudi Prince Khalid bin Bandar. The relationship ended in 2001 when Khalid bin Bandar left the U.S. after his Saudi ambassador father was suspected of having indirect ties to individuals linked with the Al-Qaeda hijackers. Like, what?
Okay, so did you get that? She was, again, alleged to have dated this Saudi prince whose dad had ties to the 9/11 hijackers.
Allegedly.
All this is alleged, and it's from this guy's TikTok, but if it's true, like...
That's crazy.
Crazy,
don't
right?
want to be associated with that guy.
So we start with a gang member, then we go to Leonardo DiCaprio, and then we jump to the Saudi prince whose dad may have had a hand in 9/11, and then after that...
And she got married to Donald Trump Jr. and divorced from Donald Trump Jr. And now she's dating the GOAT. What a run.
Dating Tiger Woods.
That is quite an impressive lineup.
So if you are her, let's just say, let's hypothetical, those are all true. Those are all your exes. At what point do you sit down with your boyfriend, especially you're both in the public eye, and be like, hey, so you knew I was married to Donald Trump Jr. What you may not know, Tiger, is that my could have been father-in-law helped 9/11 hijackers. Also, you heard of Leonardo DiCaprio? Yes, I dated him. And then also when I was in high school, I was trying to get pregnant by a Latin king.
I think that's a red flag to think you have to sit down and tell someone who all your exes are. Like, who cares?
No, if you're a normal person, it doesn't matter. But with that resume, Leonardo DiCaprio the 9/11 hijacker.
I highly doubt the gang members, Tiger Woods' friends, maybe him and Leonardo DiCaprio, like maybe they're acquaintances or know each other. Like, unless they're in the same circle, there's no reason that you need to sit down and explain yourself. Celebrity and non-celebrity, I think so. Like if what's his name, Tiger Woods was like tight with the Saudi prince's dad, then it's like, okay, well, just so you know, I dated his son back in the day. Like, you see what I mean? There's no other reason to need to sit down. Like, Tiger Woods ain't gonna sit down and run down all his exes.
He's got a history like crazy too.
That's what I'm saying. Leonardo DiCaprio, I bet, didn't.
Yeah.
There's no reason to do that. Unless it becomes an issue and you absolutely need to, I don't know, resolve whatever's going on. Like, now he's asking, or it's important to him that he knows. So whatever, you know. There's no reason for that.
I told you that one of my, I don't know how this works. An uncle on my, I don't know if he's an uncle on my side, an uncle on whatever, somebody I'm kind of related to through marriage. He was dating Heather Graham, the actress. He dated her like before she was a famous actress, dating her. And then he's married now. And the wife is like, no, we are absolutely not allowed to watch like Heather Graham movies in the house. Like if a movie comes on, like Hangover or something like that, or Boogie Nights, if she's in it, nope, we're not allowed to watch.
Who's Heather Graham?
Heather Graham, Google her. She was in, she was Roller Girl from Boogie Nights. She was the stripper in Hangover who had the baby.
Got it.
Fernando, what was the baby's name? Francesco Fernando. They gave him a weird name.
I don't know.
Great actress, but yeah, so someone is a little possessive and jealous.
Weird.
Which
I feel like I would make fun of him for that.
Well, that's what my fiance does too, because one of the girls, I've said this a million times. There was a couple girls I had long-time crushes on. Like, there was a major one.
That's different that you just had a crush on them,
right,
and didn't actually date them.
Yes, but she keeps throwing like the third or fourth like
Damn.
Well, like, you have big crushes. There's one crush that I had that became super famous, and it wasn't like a major crush, but she keeps throwing her in my face. I'm like, Is
it the one you went to school with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Linda Cardellini. We could say it. I mean, but like she keeps throwing, my fiance keeps throwing Linda Cardellini's name in my face. Like, oh, do you want to go see this movie? Because Linda Cardellini's in it. I'm like, no. Dude, that wasn't even like my main crush. So yes, they will make fun of you for it.
Yeah. They
will make fun of you. Like, oh, wow, look, I can see why you had a crush on her. Or, that's a good guy, No, she'll make fun of me.
Yeah. So, I would make fun of him.
Yeah, Heather Graham.
55.
Who's 55?
Heather Graham. Damn.
Yeah. I remember I was at a graduation party at my cousin's house, and then my uncle was talking about...
Oh, she was in Austin Powers.
Is she was?
Yeah,
was she a fembot?
She's on the cover. I think that's her.
No.
Hangover, Austin Powers, Killing Me Softly, Suitable Flesh, License to Drive, Best Christmas Ever, Flowers in the Attic, From Hell. The other Zoe. Is that the girl that pretends to be a twin or something?
I want to see like 3 of her movies.
Love Guaranteed.
I don't know that one.
Desperados. The Rest of Us. Half Magic. I haven't seen a lot of these either. She's in a lot of shit though. She was in a movie with Selena Gomez.
Nice.
The Flying Machine, Misconception, Exterminators, Baby on Board. Oh, The Hangover 1 and 3 she was in.
Mm-hmm.
Committed. You know what's funny is a lot of these, I remember seeing the cover of a lot of these in Blockbuster.
Oh, yeah?
Like, I remember seeing the front of the DVDs.
Yeah. Great times, Blockbuster.
Yeah. That would totally be a core memory of my son's if it was still a thing when he was small. Like, let's go get a movie and have a movie night.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, we were just like ordering it. Sometimes I had it on Blu-ray. Remember Blu-ray?
I never had Blu-ray or laser. My buddy like spent all this money on laser discs. I'm like, what are those? Those things are huge. He's like, they're gonna be huge. They're gonna be huge. I'm like, those are humongous, and they're essentially they were like vinyl.
Oh.
They weren't that big, but they were hella big. I'm like, dude, I'm just on the DVD hype. He's like, no, laser discs. Laser discs. I'm like, whatever, bro.
I still have a whole like thing of DVDs.
I have so many DVDs I can't play. I'm so mad.
And I don't know what to do with them because I feel like I shouldn't toss them.
Yeah, don't toss them.
But I'm like, I don't know what to do with them.
You just have to keep them somewhere because if you want something, like let's say there's a movie that you have on DVD, and like, I want to watch this movie, Hangover, but it's not on Netflix, it's not on Prime, it's not on Hulu. Like, where are you going to get it? Like, you already have it. So when you get rid of your physical copies, like with CDs, I burned all my CDs onto a hard drive, and then like I actually kept the physical ones that I really want, and I just tossed all the others or I sold them. But when you lose the physical copy, it's like, well, now what? What if I want to hear it? What if I want to see it?
But it's like, when's the last time you went through your DVDs to watch a movie?
I know.
Like, have you ever been spring cleaning and you're going through stuff and it's like shit that you don't want to throw away, or maybe like it's still in good condition, or like maybe I could find a use for this. I'm going to let it stick around.
Yeah.
But then you got to think, like, in the 3 years that I've lived in this house, I haven't touched it once. Like, maybe I don't really need it. It's the same with DVDs.
Yeah, but once you get rid of it, you know what's going to happen? You're going to want to watch it. Or you're like, oh, I have that DVD. No, I don't. I got rid of it.
I just don't know what to do with it.
Just in case. You do it just in case.
I think I can only play them on my son's Xbox. It's the only reason I have Blu-rays is because they would play on the Xbox.
Yeah.
I never had a DVD player. My mom did. She had like a DVD Blu-ray player. Half VHS, half DVD.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I think I have a DVD player in a box somewhere, just in case. You want to hear about the divorce ranches that were in Reno?
Mm-hmm.
Or a coma. Remember how we talked about comas last time? I have some info. So anyway, this is back in the, like, nowadays divorces are super easy, right? They're super easy to get done.
Are they?
Well, compared to back in the day, they were like in the 1930s and up to the 70s, it was tough to get a divorce. So Reno, I'm just going to summarize this article I saw. So Reno became known for like, hey, you want a divorce? Come out to Reno. All you got to do is like be a resident for 6 weeks, and then we'll grant you a divorce. And even though 6 weeks, that sounds like a lot.
6 weeks.
Sounds like a lot now. Like back in the day, that was like the fastest. That's like a fast track for divorce. So all these ranches started popping up, and couples from all over the country that wanted to get divorced. Reno became this destination, and so people would go to this ranch, and like city folk. And so the dude's like, oh, hey, I can learn to horseback. I'm in the sun. It's Reno. I'm in the Wild Wild West. And so like guys learned how to cowboy essentially. And like all the guys that were trying to get divorced were like hanging out with all the other guys. And same thing with the wives that were getting divorced. They were hanging out with the cowboys who were working these ranches. So as you're staying there for 6 weeks with somebody who you intend to divorce, all these like cowboy on future ex-wife relationships started popping off, and all these like future ex-wife with future ex-wife relationships started popping off. So these these Reno divorce ranches now became a thing where it's like, hey, not only is our divorces real easy to get out here, but like women can be with other women and everyone will turn a blind eye, or women can be with a cowboy, cheat on her husband, and like no one's going to say anything. So all these quote unquote divorce ranches started popping up in the early 1930s in Reno. It's crazy.
So it was like a brothel?
Kind of like a swingers ranch.
Yeah, there you go.
So
yeah.
It only took a month for Reno to establish itself as the quote divorce capital of the world. Because up until that point, the minimum residency requirement, like if you got married in, I don't know, New York, but Missouri had a faster divorce, you go to Missouri, but you'd have to live there for 6 months. So when Reno said, hey, just live here for 6 weeks and we'll divorce you, everyone's like, oh, hell yeah. So all these people started going to what's called divorce ranches and have a Reno vacation or renovation. And they got busy experimenting.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Divorce ranches in Reno. So close. Now let's go do it. Let's go get divorced up there. How weird. I remember when divorces were like very rare. Like you wouldn't hear a lot about them. And now it's like, oh, everyone gets divorced.
I think about that all the time.
I think about it a lot.
I'm like, why are people... There was a time in my life where I no longer believed in marriage and I didn't want to get married. I thought it was like useless. And then I also would think like, well, so what's the big deal? If it doesn't work out, then we just get divorced.
Sure.
Like, it's just so like, whatever. If it doesn't work out, then we break up. It's funny how it's just so, I don't know, normalized, so common, not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's
just a huge investment, and both financially, but also emotionally. Like all the families are like, hey, we're family now. And, the wife's family loves the husband's family loves the wife. So like, you're melding two families, and now you go, hey guys, remember that huge party we had? Yeah, we're not doing it anymore. It's big. It's a big deal. Divorce ranch, everybody. Divorce ranches. Yo, DVDs, CDs. Oh, I asked, I did a quick tour at Sutter Health Park today. Because the A's are going to play there in like 6 days from now.
Allegedly.
And I asked the director of entertainment. I know that's not his official title, but whatever. We were like in the legacy. There's like
the DOE.
Yeah, there's like the I don't know. There's like this VIP suite that kind of looks over the ballpark. And so he's pointing out like, oh, the center field
like the
fence.
Clubhouses?
Yeah, clubhouses. He's like, that's where the players are. It's 2-story and this. And I'm like, hey, and he's like, oh, the scoreboard and whatever. I'm like, have you guys talked about like what's going to happen if someone hits it out of the park, hits a home run out of the park? And he's like, I mean, not really. I'm like, yeah, but here's the thing.
Oh my God.
What?
Just that we were talking about this.
That's why I brought it up.
I know, because I asked you, and the fact that they haven't thought about it as if it's like not going to happen.
Yeah.
is crazy.
So here's the thing. So the clubhouses, the home team, they have a 2-story clubhouse. And on the top, there's glass. So he's like, well, we have netting that go, because the outfield is a 403-foot outfield. There's an outfield wall. And then there's like 1-story like buildings over there. Like there's like a weight room, clubhouse, and like, I don't know, a utility shed. But then it's, Fifth Avenue or whatever that street is right there that goes across the Tower Bridge.
This for the people who don't know, like Sutter Health Park, where the A's are about to play, is completely in a residential area. Like, like there's houses across the street.
It's a minor league stadium in a residential area.
Yeah.
And so I said, hey, have you guys, because I drive by this a lot, and I always think like one of these days someone's gonna be driving by and a home run is gonna crack their windshield. And he goes, well, 403 feet is kind of far. And even if it does make it over the fence, you have another, like, whatever until the street. I'm like, yeah, but it's really close. And there are baseball stadiums where people will hit it out of the park. I think it's either New York or Boston.
Well, also at Oracle Park, they hit it into the fucking water.
In San Francisco, they'll hit it into the water.
There's no way that same ball that goes into the water is not going to hit a car or a house at Sutter Health. There's no way.
How deep is the outfield in San Francisco? So he's like, well, we have some screens. We have some like netting over the, 419. So 415 from home plate to right center field. So the splashdown is 415. And it's only 403 at Sutter Health Park. And the amount of balls that go over that fence, past the pedestrians, past the walking bridge into the water.
And at actual stadiums, like the field is down here, and then the top of the seats is like way up here.
It's going to happen.
And Sutter Health is not stadium level.
No.
With the seating.
It's going to happen.
At all.
He's like, well, we got to make sure that glass is shatterproof, and then we have some netting over the solar panels. But, and he goes, well, 403 is kind of far. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, to us.
Okay. I think it's going to happen. I think somebody's going to hit a ball onto, was that M Street or whatever it is? Capitol, whatever that street is.
We should make a bet.
On how long it's going to take? Mm-hmm. It's going to happen. We should track it. Let's think about it, and then by Monday, which is opening day, we'll make our bets. It's going to happen. I think about that when I drive past.
I think it's going to happen too. I thought of that immediately.
So I asked him, and he goes, nah. It's kind of far. I'm like, it's kind of, but
so
not
have
really.
None of the minor league players ever hit it out
onto the street? I don't think so. I mean, you can hit it over the fence, obviously, but not. I don't think they've hit it out of the stadium. I'm like, all right, bro.
I bet you we could.
We could? Heck no.
Let's try it. But yeah, I do think about that all the time. I'm glad you asked.
I did ask,
but also
he probably thought I was a dummy. I'm like.
What's gonna happen?
He's like, maybe you're not the guy for us anymore. All right, so just to pick up on our last podcast, which if you didn't listen to it yet, it was about sleepwalking and talking in your sleep while you're in a coma, something like that. Mm-hmm. Crazy podcast, good podcast. Even in the week since we put it up, it's been one of the most streamed and downloaded episodes. So I'm glad to hear that. Anyway, I found this thing. This is on Daily Mail. Coma survivors took to Reddit to share experiences of waking up. This person said, I looked at my hands to see if they'd aged. Survivors reveal what it feels like to wake up from a coma. Some people believe they're in a different country. They hallucinate. A lot of people want to go back to sleep again.
I feel like I've read somewhere that I think it was like from a guy that he woke up from a coma, but in his coma, he was like living another life and had a family and kids and a wife and stuff.
Oh, like Inception.
And then he woke up from his coma and like none of them existed, and he got depressed.
Oh, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy says, I was in and out of a coma for 2 weeks. I say about because I don't actually know how long. I was never told the exact amount of time. First off, why not? Like, tell me how long I've been out.
Yeah.
That's weird. I had a life-threatening case of internal bleeding caused by et cetera, et cetera. The first few days, I was in a genuine coma. After that, I was induced by the doctors with ketamine. Sheesh. Waking up was kind of like emerging from deep waters. It took me a few days to actually be fully aware. I attribute that to the meds. Before that, it felt like time was skipping at random. The last proper memory I had was being surrounded by doctors on a table with these insanely bright, high-powered lights pointed at me. I remember last time I went into surgery, I didn't want to see what the operating room looked like, so I had my eyes closed. Did I tell you that?
No.
I went in for...
Why? I went in looking around and shit.
Just gets in my head.
They saw me staring at this one big machine, and they're like, don't worry, that's not for you. That's just in here. And I was like, okay.
That's when you had your gallbladder out, your gallbladder thing? Yeah, I didn't want to see anything. This guy says, I was sweating from the heat of those lights, but I still felt like I was freezing cold because of all the blood I lost. Then I remembered, okay, so let me get to my pain. Jesus Christ. They'd ran out of space. Okay, this guy didn't run. I was too doped up to register. It was fun. Okay, whatever.
Cool story.
A lot of people are having like white light moments, like they feel like they're in a tunnel. A lot of people are saying...
Isn't that like when you die?
Yeah, right? A lot of people are saying they feel heat. Like, I felt like I was thrown into a pit of lava. I screamed.
I hate to break it to you. That sounds like hell.
No kidding.
I hate to break it to you, but I don't think you went to heaven.
This person says, I was in a coma for a week. See, if you were going to be in a coma, first off, nobody wants to be in a coma. But would you...
I wouldn't mind it right now. I'm so tired.
Would you rather... Because essentially you're losing time. You're losing part of your life. Would you rather be in like a long... Like, yo, Lizette was in a coma for 2 years. Or you'd be like, I was in a coma for 3-4 days.
Obviously 3-4 days.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in a coma for 2 years.
But it's a better story. Like, oh...
You think you can get overweight being in a coma?
You're going to lose weight. Because your muscles are going to atrophy. They're going to force feed you whatever nutrition you need. You're going to lose weight. Like, they're not shoving Oreos in your mouth. They're just going to keep you on whatever fluids you need. I woke up in an ICU.
What if you, like, fell into a coma and you woke up and you were just, like, fat?
You put on weight?
And you put on weight.
Wow, we should have asked. Also,
like you woke up and you were shallow Hal, like, just like...
Uh-huh. And do you grow facial hair? Do they give you a haircut? And
yeah,
do they
you
shave?
grow facial hair. Yeah. I know that much.
They shave you or they just let you grow?
Your family members probably go in there and do that.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
But yeah, somebody has to go in there and like fucking brush your hair. Wash it probably.
So this is a weird memory. I was in a coma for about a week after a serious car accident. I suffered 2 months memory loss from the day of the accident. I had multiple broken bones, a fractured skull. I broke my jaw. I fractured most parts of my face. I woke up in an ICU, extremely confused and crying, thinking I was still dating my high school boyfriend, and I couldn't understand why he wasn't with me. What I do remember from the coma, that I was standing in a white room. It felt like I was waiting for something, but I didn't know what. The worst memory was when I was still in a coma and I could feel people hold my hand and I could feel the nurses bathing me, but I couldn't move or open my eyes. I just couldn't do anything and it was terrifying. That's that sleep paralysis that paranoids me. Like that's one of the reasons I don't want to be in a coma, because I think it might be just like a long sleep paralysis. Hell no.
I think you'll have moments of it being a sleep paralysis, but I don't think it'll be like one long continuous sleep paralysis, because I can't remember if we talked about this on the podcast or if I had this conversation like with my sister or something. But she basically was like, you have no sense of time when you're in a coma.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I said that on the last podcast.
Oh, you said it. Okay. So yeah, I don't
I don't know if it was a nurse or my sister. Oh, you got it.
No, because I called so many people on that podcast, and then when everyone started calling me back, they're like, "Oh, what happened?" And then I'm like, "Oh, I called you for this," and then I would talk about it with them, and then I'm like, 3 people called me, and I had this conversation with so many different people.
Yeah.
So I couldn't remember if it was on the podcast or when I got home. But yeah, I don't think it's one long sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
I think it's like just maybe short increments of
sleep
paralysis, being aware of what's around you.
Ugh. This is the last one I'm going to read. My dad basically died twice within the past year, so heart just stopped, and my mom went to... Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, this one. This is when his dad was in the coma. What he remembers from both times is being in a white room that felt to him like a waiting room at the doctor's or something. There were other people around he didn't know, and he could occasionally hear what sounded like a voice over a PA system, but he doesn't remember what it said. He also said he could hear my mom yelling at him and feel her hitting him while he was in the quote-unquote waiting room. So that's the weird thing.
Do you think the wife was yelling at and hitting him when he was in a coma?
Yeah. I think like, why are you doing this again?
Yeah. I mean, obviously she was angry for the situation, but
part of the real world is bleeding into your dream state.
That's crazy. What is this white room that everyone's waiting in?
I don't know.
Sounds like some Severance shit.
Yeah.
Weird.
Everyone's hallucinating. I'm just scrolling through all these. Everyone's hallucinating in their comas. Jeez. Anyway, I found that after we talked about comas on the last podcast.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy what can happen to us.
That would suck.
Do you think people in comas fart?
Yeah, probably.
That's so embarrassing.
Yeah, probably.
Imagine like you have everyone visiting you. Your fucking crush, and all of a sudden you're. That's embarrassing.
Old people do that when they just walk by you sometimes. They just can't hold it anymore. So like you'll be at a grocery store and like an old person walks by the cereal aisle and just... You've never had an old person fart on you?
I don't think so.
I mean, not on you, but like...
They crop dusted?
Old people crop dust like crazy.
I don't think so.
That's funny.
Not that I've noticed.
Yeah, they'd be doing that.
That's disgusting.
I'm not saying it's great. I'm just saying they'd be doing it.
It's going to be you one day.
Oh, no. I have a feeling like when I get older, I think when I hit a certain age, I'm just like, all right, we're going all out now. We're taking all types of drugs. We're speeding. We're robbing banks.
No, you're not.
We're going to brothels.
You don't even like to have more than 2 drinks now. You're not going to get old all of a sudden and be like, give me that cocaine.
Well, because if you're an old person, like, let's say you do illegal stuff.
It's going to affect you more.
Yeah. But let's say you do illegal stuff. You can be like, I didn't know what I was doing when I robbed that Safeways. Have mercy on me.
Why do you sound like South Park?
I don't know. Have mercy on me, officer. I'm just an old man.
Just like pretend you have dementia?
Yes.
I was just looking for my wife.
Really? While you were holding up a Wells Fargo?
You could just pretend that you were getting like scammed or something. Like they said that they were at my wife's house and my grandkids' house.
Yes. I got a phone call.
They said that they were watching me and I had to do this.
Yeah.
Nah, they're going to find out you're lying.
I know. I got to figure out a way to do crazy stuff and be like, sorry, officer. Run red lights all the time. Oh, I didn't see it.
Why don't you do one of those, like, remember that lady, it was her birthday and her wish was to get arrested. And she'd always wanted to be arrested and the cops went and arrested her at the nursing home.
Yeah.
You should do that with like the police. Be like, I've always wanted to rob a bank, and then have them set up a bank robbery for you to do.
We should talk to the sheriff. We should get the sheriff. We should get the sheriff in here on our next podcast and be like, yo.
Can you set this up?
Can you set this up?
He's not going to.
You're supposed to set up the drunking.
Oh,
drinking?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how.
Yeah, I think you just contact the...
But I don't know what it's called.
You can Google it and find out. Or talk to sheriff. We for real have to make that happen. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Okay. I should have did that for my birthday.
That'd be fun.
You weren't even here.
Well, I was here before your birthday.
But you were not here for my birthday.
Right. I said happy birthday, though.
But what I was implying was that you have to take me somewhere.
Yeah. What?
You have to take me somewhere. You take me out.
I got you chips today. All right, fine. I'll take you out. Let's get out of here. You can follow us on Instagram at Strawberry and Lizette.
I'm at Lizette Love, LIZETTELOVEE.
I am at Strawberry Radio. If you know how we can rob a bank without getting in trouble.
We just have to set it up through Make-A-Wish.
Yes. Or if you can let us know the process where we can drink and then they do sobriety tests on us. Let us know how we can do that. And if you have Lizette's old love letters from jail, send those to us.
No.
And other than that, we'll talk to you next time. Peace.
Remember when I used to get jail mail? That was funny for a little bit.
Until it wasn't.
Until it wasn't.